Happy New Year everyone and welcome back to Spring of Series 15 in Forza Horizon 5. This is the new beginnings, next seasonal championship we do in this week's festival playlist, and in it we get to drive some modern sports cars in road conditions in A-class. So plenty of cars to choose from, which is quite evident from the field right here. No two players have selected the same car, and some more variety is added by the choices made by AI, though I wouldn't quite count AI as a reference here, because even though they do get to drive the actual cars, those are heavily influenced by various algorithms and other things that are not part of actual car performance. But nonetheless, my choice for it is this Mazda RX-8, and you can see it's quite fast. I managed to pass a whole bunch of AIs right there in the very beginning, but it's a little bit nervous in the corners. You need to be a tiny bit careful with your throttle and with brakes as well when going into the corners, because I did manage to lose my rear a few times. So in this sense, this tune may not be super optimal. It's a little bit more nervous than I'm used to, I'd have to say. But nonetheless, the last AI has fallen before the end of the first lap, which is an indication that the car performance is fine. We have chassis in front, and this may be an interesting battle, or it might just end up in a little disaster, as happens every now and then, but not too often. Now, coming back to this particular tune, you may be surprised by this instability of the rear end a little bit, because it's all-wheel drive built and it does have street tires for it. So I actually expected a little bit more stable behavior, and as you can see, this costs me quite a bit. Not only I can't catch up on chassis, but I'm also actually losing more time, which is even more surprising because his car choice is an Alpine. Now that's the car that you can often see in the rally racing, both the old version and this brand new incarnation of the Rally Beast, but it seems to work quite well in chassis hands right here on the road. Nonetheless, I complained so much about the tune that you might think that it is actually horrible and terrible, but you can also look behind. The nearest competition is pretty far back, and it is no effort really to keep away from the AI and the rest of our teammates. So it's a really fast car. You will find it easy to win over AI with, maybe not so easy to win over other players, depending on what they drive. But it is fun to drive. Just need to, be a little bit more careful than usual. Throwing it in the corners in particular may end up in undesirable or undesired drift, and therefore loss of time. Nonetheless, it did allow me to bring it home in the second place in the first race here. A little bit battered, but still driving. And yeah, obviously the Team Humans wins by a significant margin here, and we'll see if I can turn the tide in the second race. Let's go for it in Grand Pantana Sprint. Sprints are somewhat easier, but do allow less time than circuits, and I think we are in wet conditions. Okay, for this I would definitely recommend being a little bit more careful, because if the car is prone to a little bit of sliding in the dry conditions on the water, right there, I managed to start sliding even on a tiny bend, and you will need to brake quite a bit early, I would say, and try to position your car very, very straight before getting back on the throttle. Nonetheless, up in the third place again, all the AIs are passed long ago. We need to be careful here. Okay, this wasn't really good. I did slid into the wall, but that wasn't a disaster. Nonetheless, Richafo in front of me was also sliding, and I caught the edge of his rear end, and then that sent me very far off the road, I would say. Not nice at all. Oh wow. Chazzy keeps overperforming me right there in the corner, clearly just out-braking me before the turn and then going in. Very clean overtake, no problems at all. And now he's already attacking Marty in front, so we have half the race to go. This Eagle Roadster, I actually wouldn't think it counts as a modern sports car, but it definitely does. Doesn't seem to be super competitive though, so sorry Marty, but this third place for now is mine, and I'm gonna try to chase Chazzy till the end of this race, which isn't too long. Oh, okay, nearly missed the checkpoint. Now this might be the end of my racing, to be honest, and I'm gonna be lucky if I don't lose another position, because absolutely lost control of my car, caught it really late. Obviously managed to stay with the checkpoint, which is yeah, silver lining of the whole situation, but it completely destroyed all of my racing line, and I guess it put some instability into my mind rather than the car, because yeah, you've seen me going all over the road, nearly falling off the bridge later on, and yeah, that means the competitor currently running on the fourth place is right on my tail. It's going to be a really close finish. Actually, it's not as close as I thought. I thought he's right behind me in that Audi, but no. Third place in this race, not quite where I planned, I have to say, not quite, but nonetheless way ahead of the AIs. I think none of the AIs actually managed to finish in time for this race, so that's also an indication. Thank you for watching though, and I'll see you in the next one.